This is Citizen Sleeper. It's a great game from what I've actually looked into it, and it looks absolutely amazing, so let's go ahead and get into it. It's like a TTRPG situation where we get to craft our own story. And honestly, without knowing pretty much anything about the situation, let's look into the classes. There's the Operator. An Operator works with drones and highly precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleeper assigned to Operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. I'm not. Extractors work on the resource extraction, often in hand vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to Extractor class are often confident, self-sufficient, and have high level of endurance. That doesn't sound too bad. But there's another one called the Machinist, which repairs and modifies automated systems used in the industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to the Machinist work on a usually diligent, careful, and structured people. That actually sounds like me, so I'm definitely going to be going into that. So we'll see. The first thing you become aware of in waking is the disconnect. I need to turn the audio down. The first thing you become aware of is an awakening is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. Where are you? It is at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it is felt. I can speak, recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body. A leap into cold lake on a hot day, a sting of blood swelling from the fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell from one another. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body. Given your current circumstance, the walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at the back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It is painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There was no insistent throbbing, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with a banal quality of digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. And then, once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into the cargo processing, seal yourself into containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shafts. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. It feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on the grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of the freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Let's try to rest. But you're restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damages to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again coil into the dream of when you were once a person. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound too. everywhere, screeching and shivering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensor. That was good job, Ender. Then, light, white as the cold, softer and softer into a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. We're on the Drago's pragmatic salvager. It's been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness. Back to life, and you stare at the ornately carving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where the plasma arcs slice them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. "So, sleeper, you all thawed out yet?" "Almost." "Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky." Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perched, its irising eyes locking you with an unflinching stare. Wow, this is hard to talk about. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment, or perhaps he's just trying to figure out what to do with you. "I plan to survive." You aren't sure if he hears you. "I won't ask you what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation? I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you are just software. A rogue emulation, illegally possessing corporate property." You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper's cells. The promise of a life off-world, but as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SN ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep a hold of you, well then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regular administrated supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are the one lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away, towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? The station! You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to get on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as a storage out in the stacks. We haven't been putting in much valuable scraps these days, so you're welcome to it. Something swells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Alright, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the wrecks, his drones already converging on a resting Hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spinally figure as he returns to work. Tutorial introduction. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas and stations, and perform tasks. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container, location to rest, and end cycle now. Select the location with your icons. So is it this one or is it the other one? Oh my gosh, okay. I love that you can actually move the camera on this. This looks absolutely amazing. I love this. This is great. But yeah, this is our home for now. Let's go ahead and end the cycle. We've done so much today. We've been sleeping and it's okay. You wait curled up in a corner of a container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling a mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles away from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Building a life. Maybe you did get lucky, finding yourself here, maybe here, on the edge of everything. There's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragas has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded satchels of some desiccant powder? You thumb the powder stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the satchel smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. Oh, okay. As the pungent smell washes over you, the images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin, a constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burned into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best as you can, and you try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You have to figure out how to recover your condition, now that you can no longer access the corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action dice. At the start of the cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition is, the fewer dice you'll have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes a condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so it's condition. We need to keep our condition up. This is our action dice, and this is our energy. We need to keep our energy up so it doesn't mess with our condition. Fantastic. We're learning things. Okay. Can I reroll? Jacros is standing in the corridor when you close the container. He is still wearing his headset. And in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder. Its cast of sensory eyes, rapid irising. How are you feeling? Not good. The drone chirps. Dragos nod. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe, he pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alrighty then. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of it comes with is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor, and obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you've turned up. Got it. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quickly as you can, and sleepers, well, with being the way that they are for me at the yard, I need the help. Why? Things are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to our client here and there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. I'll see what I can do, Dragos. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. I mean, after all, you are the one that gave me a crate. I should definitely repay its kindness quite a bit. That's my home, Dragos decaying scrapyard. Passage and the low end. You know what, Dragos? Let's just go ahead and come down here and say hello to you. Actions. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag the chosen action dice into the slot. Conditions reward the clock, progress, and energy conditions and items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types. Positive, the action gets better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Action dice represents the action dice represents. Okay, fantastic. I love this. Actions are played on the information about their type, risk level, and the skill, and modifiers apply to that action. Type is either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk, either safe, risky, or danger. Safe is no condition, energy, or loss. Negative means cryo or energy is lost. And danger, negative outcome for condition. Neutral outcome can mean cryo and energy loss. Skill is that the action requires either engineer, interface, endurance, intuit, or engage. Modifiers such as -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when plotted and improved its value. Some actions require +1 to perform. This is great. This is just like D&D. We love this. Now, we have a decent one here for 6. What do we want to do? Even the rustiest hull can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. This is risky, though. A debt caught on Dragos is tied into something. If he misses a payment or 2, things could get nasty. Back in Bigness, every salvager knows that there is always one lucky haul away from their next payday. So yeah, no, we're gonna ooh, wait a minute, hold on. We may not even need the 6. How about a 4? We have to 50%. Okay, so I don't want to do that. And this one is safe. We don't need this. Let's do hull dissection, honestly. And that way we can help Dragos up a little bit. Clocks. Actions often represent clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your conditions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' decks, are cycle clocks. These clocks take themselves once a cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the... Oh, okay. It continues without our input for it. Okay, so we need to do more. That one's risky. We don't want to do that. This one's 50% positive and 50% neutral. Let's go ahead and do it. I believe. Drives and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you into the pursuant specific objectives depending on the path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on the locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access the drive in the menu via the arrow button on the top left of the screen. Okay, and we already read that one. Back in business, 15 cryo. Okay. Hold on, there was a perk there that I didn't see. Pulled you out of the salvage and set you up. Perhaps you various kinds. Help pay off his debt. I'm working on it. There was a perk that said that I got here. Scrap components, filters, capacitors. Can I put them in there? No. Okay, let's go ahead and leave. We've done some stuff. We need to find the doctor. Which one is the doctor? This one is the doctor. Okay, so let's go over here and chat with them. Helos Crossing. Merchants who are willing to run gauntlets on healing systems are rare, but those that do always come back eventually. Okay, so then that doesn't help with me right now. Let's take a look at B2, docking. Salvage sortie. It takes several seconds to reach starboard belt and return, loaded with scrap and the old wrecks. Okay, so no, we're not going to go here. So then, what about the rotunda? Oh, okay, hold on. These are dangerous, and we get a -1 towards it, so we should definitely probably not do anything here at all. So, let's go ahead and leave this spot, because it's not a good time. We don't need to go to the Bright Market. You know what? Let's go to the Bright Market, just because. Let's see what's going on in the Bright Market. Why wander when there are hundreds of people and live and work within the Bright Market, and all you need to do is to encourage them to ask them. The Bright Market is the busiest part of the eye's lower rim. You can find anything and everything here, and we can then explore it. I don't have I have minuses to this place. I am not a social person. I don't think I should be here. I am a machinist after all, and a machinist are... Oh, okay. This is... Okay, so we got an upgrade point. Okay. And we can upgrade one of these. And, transfer intercept. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Sunbathe dice action allows energy recovery at home. Predictive reasoning. Dice actions to play a potential positive or negative outcomes. That sounds great. Oh, I gotta level it down. Or I can do with self-repair. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. That sounds great, honestly. But I need 2 points for that, right? I don't have any upgrade points. Never mind. Chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. Okay, so that's... okay, so I just got that. Gotcha. I'm figuring it out. Alright, let's go to the low-end gate then. Pay low-end toll. After some spacers caused some trouble in the low-end, have imposed... Yatagan has imposed the toll for entry. No one gets in without paying. I need 60 credits? Well, I guess I'm not going there. I think it might be time to just go back to sleep. Maybe we can do something over here in the scrapyard. As a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. Gotcha. If you don't have connections, but you have skills, you can get a shipbuilder to notice them. You might be in. But what do these two look like? Maybe I should do haul materials. I don't like that very much. I don't like this very much at all. I gotta risk it. Maybe haul materials. But I have a +1 to engineer. So you know what? Let's try it. It's risky. Never punished! What is this? 5% neutral, 50% neutral. Okay, we're not doing that. We can leave that. Can we do something else here? Manual salvage? We don't want to do that. Let's neutral and negative. We don't want to do that. We don't want to potentially harm ourselves. So I think it might be time to go ahead and go back and take a nap. We've done a lot today. I think. Alright, give me... Oh, this time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting metal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across the colorless void, and then the connections begin to establish themselves, thread tug at the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of your exchange and extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station like the web of texture in the smooth, black liquid. Touch it! You find the point of the station and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and pass under and surround it. You touch more points than you have your fingers, and then you try, in the moment of impulsiveness, to connect to them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, editing and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you insistently, as if they were a small child. Somehow, it is pulling in two different directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling to your unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open on the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel in waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it's gone. We are starving. How does one get food? That is the real question. We need food. Oh, dock terminal. Still dock plans, explore rotunda. Filled with passageways, concords leading to all kinds of docking and bays. I don't need that. I need to explore. Bright Market. Bright Market is definitely should where I be. Ask for directions. All you need to do is approach them, hunt people. Explore the market. Definitely want to be putting the 6 towards that. Maybe we put the 3. Maybe we put the 6. Maybe over here instead. Positive, neutral? No, we want to explore the market. We need to find something. Local knowledge. Okay, what does that give me? We found the slum doctor. We found a street vendor. Fantastic. And Memphis is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus and with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. It stacks and chips, rattles, and his apron pockets as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Let's watch him. Despite the queue, Memphis doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into a bowl of torn leaves and bright slices before tossing them closely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer mutters something about efficiency, but Memphis remains steady in his process. After a while, the queue fades back into a crowd and Memphis sets down his metal bowl and looks up across the burner to see you, watching him. I feel your eyes burning on a hole in my bowl. Free sample? I appreciate it. He gestures neatly. Come over. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you sleepers, Memphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up and beneath his cap with pierced eyes, I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his wok. You tell him about the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility in a sudden arrival. You tell him the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycles spent within it. Now it seems you tell him, like some dream that you once had, but never can forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you. You are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, the tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steam and fungus in your hand. Next time, we can talk some more. He smiles. But next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand against the button on the burner's sides and it shuts off. The whir of the flame, its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. Emphas, I fucking love your energy right now, alright? Thank you so much. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back in the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of the circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with the constellation of glinting pen marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicate, sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Of course I'll be back. You just gave me a free sample and I told him my life story. Like, we got to be back. We have to. Now, Dragos, though, we got to help you out over here, brother. 25% positive, 50% negative, 25% negative. 50% neutral. Do we want to risk that? We can't do much. What happens in the other one? Same outcome. But we have a +1 on hull dissection. So let's give it a shot. Please, nothing bad. No punishments. We get minus energy, but we get cryo. Perk efficient extractor. What did that do to me? We just get minus energy. That's okay. Oh, efficient extractor gave... Wait, no, hold on. No. Okay, so it's fine. It's fine. We did not get penalized, it seems. But it does not seem that we're able to do much either. So, you know what? Our energy is... Well, yeah. Let's go. You know what? What can we do here? Order fungus. And despite it's 15. Emphas doesn't trust people easily, but he notices regular customers in his own quiet way. Spice fungus one is your favorite potential things, enough to stimulate your limited taste sensors. It's incredible stuff. I have money, but I don't think I want to do it. No, I do want to do it today. My hunger is really kind of low, so let's go ahead and do that. And that leaves me completely full. Energy fungus fan, minus 15 cryo. Okay, so we have lots and lots of energy. We're good to go for that. Now, let's go over to the slum doctor. Let's see what's going on over there. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down a flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high and a cue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that the doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block. They have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizers, this body... your body will. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see an amber light flickering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of an enforcer palms against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn. I'm sorry, I'm just curious. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send in the next one, Toshiro. And the enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushes through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor is to ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market sealed roof and buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixated by the motion. Come, sit, calls the sharp voice, and you see a silhouette figure turned away, replacing by a plastic sheeting over a frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, You see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please, sit. They gesture to the bed and then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine? I can't pronounce names very well. Sabine turns a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to your eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from the expression which you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been in the station? They ask, a scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm gonna start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying. They say without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. ARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose, to prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in processes of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which ARP remains the sole proprietor of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or for everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers are the most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your forearm, and ARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if apologizing again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this, of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives away to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help you. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Chishiro outside. You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections. Smugglers from the Starward Belt. Mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sits down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive. But I think we can make it. I think we can do it. Why help me, though? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dabbled with the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave. Sabine still staring out, unmoving. Then you reach the lower level of the market. You look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the light of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Makeshift doctor's surgery? Can we help with that? Sabine thinks you can source some stabilizer through the Yatagan, but it's going to take a few cycles. That's understandable. Can I do any type of more discoveries over here at the Bright Market, even with my 50% negative neutral? So what does that... hold on. I need to figure things out. You know what? We just risk it. We risk it for the biscuit. Never punished. Never punished. We got minus energy. Minus energy is fine. That's not terrible. I'm fine with that. We're out of dice rolls. So it's time for us to continue on to the next cycle. Let us end it. This is fun. I like this a lot. Again, the metal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crispier than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of the threads across the ring. Though these forms then leap off into the void, you begin to understand these are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. Focus on the nodes. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach Erlin. A pyramid, a triangle. Dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, the meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds harden and cuts you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzles of boxes. One leads to another. There are so many here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the past and open the boxes. You look across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then, that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied to you. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into an inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They're in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from them, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you. You eyes open. Your eyes. You open your eyes, time is short. I can read. The cloud, something has changed inside of you. You can access data cloud of the eye, the network of decaying protocols and data caches. While you're there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the eye icon on the top of the screen to toggle this view on and on. Oh. I like this. Okay, but I still want to help with everything that I can over here. 50% positive, 50% neutral. Let's go with that. Never punished. Back in business, plus cryo. Let's do it again. What could possibly go wrong? Back in business again. Let's go. We're gonna risk it. We're gonna risk it. Nothing could possibly go wrong, I think. And it didn't. Never punished. Let's go. Alright, Emphas. We need some foods. I will order more fungus. Because I need the energies. Thank you. I appreciate you. Scrap components. Filters, capacitor sensor. Useful salvage to the right person. Can I do something with these? Can I, like, sell them? No, I don't think I can. Okay. Maybe... First and stabilize. Think you can source some stabilized through Yata, but it's going to take a few cycles. Okay, so it's going to take 3 days. Which, as long as I'm not stupid, we should be fine. If we don't keep doing the risky stuff like we have been, we should be okay, because our energy supply is still fine. Our condition is okay. It is fading, but our energy is fine. We just gotta keep it going. Keep on keeping it on. There we go. We just gotta keep on keeping on. Okay. Look at that, man. We are getting some high rolls. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wait up. Turn. Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just wanted to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back into the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was all that old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all? Nice idea, but well, not a very practical. He glances back to you. We do our best, but it ain't easy. We? You pass together into a main walkway. Haven't age. We are all one dysfunctional family. Fang puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. No, don't worry. I'm with systems. Systems? Everything the eye runs on. He runs a hand along the passage walls. This place is a ruin, but systems keep it spinning somehow. At least we try to. He stops you in a quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you around and well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a little proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then, when you're all settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a darker look. In truth, I need you. If what they say are true about sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, reaches his hand in farewell. We got to take care of Dragos, though! We are definitely over-prepared for it. But I like being over-prepared. We are gonna take care of this. So what do we need to do with this? Okay, so we go here. Oh, okay. You arrive at a buzzing of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across the vast dark shape, suspended below the dome. They flicker across the scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling the holes. I'm gonna close this. The clutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Draco stands up to the side, focusing on the hulking ship as it is lowered to the ground. She is. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm it drags for a monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what happened to its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friend to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is very visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hull, their lights illuminating flashes of tinted hull. Watching you, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion. Locked inside that container, the wreck of the SN ARP freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was it the container delivered to Dragos on his own, a womb of your rebirth into the strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to its yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? Use this fading light of the ship and budget as winter light. Let's do it, Dragos. You clap on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting and then slips out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Drive discovered. Drive upgrades. You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow buttons in the top right of the corner. Okay, I was just about to do that. I appreciate the assistance. Chance to gain cryo on interactions. Dissections play potential negative and positive outcomes. I think I want to save this to make it so that way I can work on getting the situation taken care of. That way I won't have to fully worry about Or I can sunbathe. Sunbathe action dice allows you energy recovery. Oh, I have to... Oh, I have to use a dice action to be able to sunbathe at home. I think I want to wait for engineer, honestly. But Dragos, what's going on with your debt? Am I going to the right one? Dragos Yard. I did Yard Hand once. Didn't I? I'm confused. Investigate the window light means picking through the systems and structures with care. It won't pay, but you may find answers. Ship breaking is tougher than slicing up loose salvage, but Dragos is happy to pay you a fixed wage if you're up for it. Okay, so we've already taken... Okay. So we've already completed the full thing, so we got nothing to worry about towards it. Okay. Let's work on Winter Light. Can we do this too? Do they both work? Yeah, buddy. Let's go ahead and work on this. Ooh, what's this? Ship mind fragment. Could be disassembled with the right tools and a few fragments. I mean, never punished. Winter Light scrap item. We love this. Let's just keep it up. We're doing great things. We're not getting scrap for it, but that's okay. So over here, it takes several cycles to reach Stormwind Belt and return loaded with scrap from old wrecks. Okay, so we can use that to scrap things. We also have to remember to come to see the doctor for the reinforcing the things. And we don't have to eat today. We can eat in the morning. Honestly. No. No. Let's just go ahead and go back to bed. Let's go back to bed. What could possibly go wrong? Alright, so it takes 2 each time, so we'll be okay. So then let's go over here and eat some food. Get us some om-noms. Here's your cryo. How much food does this give us? It gives us 3. Okay, so that's good to know. Let's go see the doctor. The first thing you see in entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eye. Like a cat's eyes. In the dark of the corridor, he nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands at the case open in front of them. A set of vials lined up inside, separate from foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating in the warm light. I have no idea how Yadagan. They trails off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if what it really is to what it is. On the test case? I don't care, honestly. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we need to be careful. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant and the transparent operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of yourself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part of each is of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as a foreign material and thus must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of would-be stabilizer. However, unlike a immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as a passcode within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Passcodes? In a very basic term, yes, they sigh. Look, what matters here is that the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by our immune system. They glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. Then sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white and then it returns. Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness. Muffled noises like an argument heard underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in the chair by the window, facing away from you, backlight by the glow of their slate. Awake? Yes. The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should get some more rest. You should rest some more, but you are going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. Sorry, I have other patients. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room, and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out, Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out the hallway. The queues stretch down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning behind you. I'm stable! Could never be me in real life. But that's fine. We have other things to focus on. Any negative? Neutral, negative? What about this? Positive, neutral, negative. Let's give it a shot. Don't punish? Minus condition. That's fine. Keep this up. We're doing great things. We're getting a lot of scrap components from this. Unfortunately, there isn't much that we know that we can do with it right now. Oh, I meant to look at the scrap freighter. Most of what comes into the Star Wars is corroded trash, but sometimes something valuable can be found among the salvage. The big stuff goes in shipyard. The value stuff to the market, so I'll let you buy a few crates, but not much more. 2 for 6. As many cycles as it takes to offload its hull into the hub. Okay, okay. I think we have a lot of time for Dragos, so we'll take care of that. But that's going to be on the next adventure. So I hope you enjoyed this one, Ghosts and Ghouls, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.